The secret lunchbox. In the busy city of Riverton, tall buildings touched the clouds. Cars made loud noises, and people were always in a hurry. In the middle of all that noise stood a quiet school. It was called Belmont Academy. It was not the biggest school. It was not the most famous either. But it was special because students from many different places studied there. One of the students was a boy named Arjun Mehta. Arjun was in 7th grade. He was not the tallest. He didn't run the fastest. He didn't win spelling bees or science quizzes. He was quiet and didn't talk much in class. But Arjun had something very special. He had a lunchbox. It was not a fancy or new lunchbox. It was old and made of steel. It had small faded stickers of superheroes on it. One latch didn't even close properly. But still, Arjun carried it every day. He held it carefully, like it was a treasure. Every day at 12:45 p.m., Arjun walked to the neem tree at the edge of the schoolyard. He sat down under the tree and opened his lunchbox slowly. And inside was magic. Spicy rice with cumin seeds, soft chapatis with paneer, crunchy pakoras, and sometimes sweet treats like laddus or kheer with cardamom. The smell was warm and delicious. It floated in the air, and other students turned their heads to look. But no one came closer. Arjun sat alone. He didn't have close friends. He didn't talk much. But he didn't look lonely. He ate slowly, enjoying each bite. He looked calm and peaceful, like he was enjoying a quiet world of his own. Then came the rainy Thursday. It rained all morning. Water covered the field. The yard was too wet for lunch. Students sat inside, on the stairs, in hallways, or in classrooms. Arjun didn't know where to go. His tree was too wet. He walked around with his lunchbox in both hands, looking for a quiet place. After a while, he sat near the music room. The floor smelled of wood and old violins. That's when Mia Chen saw him. Mia was the opposite of Arjun. She was loud, funny, and full of ideas. She was the captain of the debate team. Everyone knew her. Teachers liked her. Students listened when she spoke. But Mia had a secret too. She didn't eat lunch most days. Her parents were doctors. They worked all the time. Sometimes Mia had no packed lunch. She would say she wasn't hungry or hide in the library during lunch. But that rainy day, she saw Arjun sitting alone. She smelled his food and felt her stomach growl. She sat across from him. "Hey," she said, smiling. "That smells amazing. What's in there?" Arjun looked surprised. "Just lunch." "Can I see?" she asked. Arjun hesitated. Then, slowly, he opened the lunchbox. Steam came out like magic. One layer had a lagobi. Another had peas paleo with crispy onions. On top were 2 warm chapatis, folded neatly. In the corner was green chutney and some mango pickle. Mia's eyes widened. Wow, that's not just lunch. That's a whole party. Arjun smiled a little. My dad cooks. He works at a small diner. Mia looked impressed. Lucky you. Would you mind if I tried a bite? Arjun looked unsure, but pushed a chapati toward her. Mia broke off a piece, dipped it in chutney, and took a bite. Her eyes lit up. This is the best food I've ever had at school. That was the beginning of their friendship. The next day, Mia brought seaweed crackers from her grandma's kitchen. The day after that, she brought sesame balls made by her aunt. Soon Mia and Arjun began eating lunch together every day. Sometimes under the tree, sometimes on the stairs. They laughed, shared food, and told stories. They found out they had more in common than they thought. Both of them felt a little alone sometimes. Both of them had parents who loved them but were very busy. And both of them felt warm and happy when someone shared a meal with them. As days passed, something amazing happened. One day, Jamal, a boy from 8th grade, walked by. He sniffed the air and asked, "Is that cardamom?" Arjun nodded. "My grandma used to make sweets like that," Jamal said. "Can I join you?" Jamal sat down. Next came Layla, who brought hummus and pita bread. Then Samir, whose mom made tamarind rice. Soon there was a circle of kids under the neem tree. Everyone brought something. Everyone shared. They all came from different families, different backgrounds, but food brought them together. They laughed, swapped bites, and learned about each other's cultures. Food became their new language, a way to say, "This is who I am." One day, their English teacher, Ms. Patel, walked by. She saw the happy group. She smiled and said, "Let's make this bigger. Let's have a lunchbox festival." Everyone loved the idea. The school gym was decorated with colorful flags. Parents brought food from their cultures. There were dumplings, empanadas, biryani, sushi, casseroles, and more. The smell was delicious. Laughter filled the air. Arjun stood with his father, who wore his diner apron. They served paneer rolls and mint chutney. Mia introduced her grandma, who brought sweet buns and tea eggs. The principal gave a short speech. Today, we didn't just share food, we shared stories. Every dish tells where we come from, what we care about, who we love. After that day, Belmont changed. The cafeteria started serving international dishes. Students shared recipes from home. Every month they had a lunchbox story day where one student talked about a family dish. Arjun was no longer just the quiet boy with a lunchbox. He was the boy who started something beautiful with chapatis and kindness. Many years passed. Arjun grew up. He wrote a college essay called The Secret Lunchbox. In it, he told the story of how food brings people together. His essay won a national award. He later studied culinary anthropology, the history of food and culture. He traveled to many countries, writing about how meals connect people. Mia became a journalist. She worked with Arjun on articles about food, family, and memories. They stayed friends. And Arjun, he still kept his old lunchbox. It was scratched and dented. The stickers had faded, but inside it was still something special. Because a lunchbox is not just a container. It's a story, a bridge, a beginning. Sometimes the biggest stories come in the smallest containers. And sometimes a warm meal shared with a kind heart can change everything.